Evan Peters, you play one of the scariest guys on TV. I'm talking about American Horror Story, of course. The first season, you were Psycho Killer. Second season, they were kind of nice on your character. He had his tender side at the asylum, of course. But in the recent edition, you're this Frankenstein monster who has his nice side.
Right.
But why are they picking on you with the creepy roles, in other words?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess it's an honor, I guess, to be picked on in the show. You get a lot of cool meaty scenes, and it's a lot of fun.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I have a spoiler alert to anyone who hasn't seen Coven, but I think the single greatest moment in that entire series is one of the final scenes when you're in your tuxedo at the door. Um, I mean, it brings everything full circle in such a beautiful way. Um, do you have some favorite moments from the past season?
Um, yeah, I think a lot of the waking up stuff was pretty weird, and we had to think about a lot in terms of how he was going to move, and just kind of falling and flopping around all over the place was a lot of fun. And coming home to see my mom uh, um, was amazing, and really showed a lot of kind of where Kyle came from and stuff. So it was interesting to dive into that and to figure out what his story was, along with a scene that happened a little later on that dove more into backstory when he was at the tattoo parlor and was getting tattoos with his buddies, and then it swirls back around and you see that, you know, his buddy's arm is his arm now, and his buddy's leg is his leg now. So it's a very intense moment for Kyle. So that was a lot of crazy stuff to play.
A lot of crazy stuff, you know. Kathy Bates with her head chopped off, and
Yeah,
they did some really great creepy stuff with the Axeman and Jessica Lange. I mean, it's so sick. Some of it, it's just brilliant.
yeah, yeah. I agree.
Um, I got to ask, of course, how is it that you ended up working with Emma? Did you guys, how did that come? Did you guys want to be cast together, or did you get together after the shoot?
No, I had no idea she was going to be in the show. I had no say in it. I don't think Emma had any say in it. I think Ryan is friends with Emma's aunt Julia, and knows Emma through that, and I think really likes Emma's work and likes her as a person, and I think just wanted to write a role for her, and this role fit her really well. So he ended up casting her, and it just worked out really well that we got to be together in New Orleans for 7 months, as opposed to being separated. So it was really great.
And that was not a strain on the relationship, because, of course, some people say, don't work with your honey. You
No,
survived.
no, it was great. It was great. We helped each other out, and with scenes and moral support, and living in a new city, and it was great. It couldn't have went any better.
And what's it like on the set working with Ryan? In other words, are things pretty strict? You get a script and you just stick to it, or is there a lot of improvisation that goes on, and then they welcome a suggested line change, or is it kind of fluid? What's the actual work environment like when the director says go?
Well, we try to stick to the script a lot because the writing is so good. And if we have a line change or something, we can call back to LA and they'll maybe mull it over. But if they don't like it, then you do it. And there is room for improvising with you have the right director there on set with you. You can play around a little bit more and decide if you want to play it a little looser or if you want to go tighter. But for the most part, I mean, it's we try to stick to the story pretty much.
Patty O'Meara wants to know, do you have a favorite of the American Horror Stories that you've done? A favorite season?
I think the last one. I mean, I always say the first one, but upon reviewing it and thinking about it, I think that as an actor, it's always interesting to play something like this last role. I mean, he hardly talked at all, so there was a lot of stuff that I had to do in terms of trying to figure out what he was thinking and feeling without having any lines to tell me. So it was an interesting thing to do, and I really liked it. I had a lot of fun with it.
I liked the first season best for your character because he started out so menacing, so scary, and then when it's revealed that he hasn't told his girlfriend that she's dead out of love for her, and in all of the twists near the end that turn you into a sympathetic character were so shocking but so neat. I just thought, what great storytelling. I was just hating your character until you turned on Zachary, quit out and let him have it. And I just loved how it all just spun out.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. It was a lot of fun.
What's it like to work with Jessica Lange? I got to ask that.
It's amazing. She's a legend and is just such a seasoned actress. I mean, you just sit there and watch her and learn and listen and keep your mouth shut, basically. And she's super sweet, She's a nice person as well. So it's a pleasant experience to be on the set with her.
And you had that dance number with her during the asylum thing. That was really fun, right?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was interesting. It was a nice change of pace for the show.
But didn't you think when it came up that this was in the script, like, this isn't going to work? All of a sudden you're in this dreary, horrible asylum, and we're all just going to break out into this jukebox song.
Well, I mean, a lot of us thought we were jumping the shark, but I think really at heart we knew that the season needed it. It was such a dark season that to throw that curveball at the end was just something very fun, and also to put it in Jessica's character's brain, is the best part about it, is that it's not happening in the world, it's just inside of her head. So it's an interesting way to do it, but still not do it.
And it's a huge hit on YouTube. Just that scene alone has like 22 billion views. It's that great, yes.
Oh, that's cool. Very cool.
Now, what do we know about Freak Show coming up? We know that you're playing the son of Michael Chiklis and Kathy Bates, right?
Yes, and that's about all I know. I know it takes place in Jupiter, Florida, and I believe it's a period piece, and Jessica's working on a German accent, I think, and that's really all I know. I know what the press knows, so I'm excited to find out as well.
Well, when do they actually tell you anything?
Well, I think once they have it written, then they can tell me. But
aren't we getting close to shooting, like about 8 weeks away or something?
We are. They like to cut it close, They like to leave the actors waiting with anticipation. So we're very excited when we get the script.
How much time do you get a script before you're actually shooting the scene? Like a week, a couple days?
It depends. Sometimes when we're shooting, it's about a day or two before. Sometimes we can get it a week. Usually before this past few seasons, we've gotten several scripts before we started shooting, which was very nice. So when we kick it off, we have a little more prep time. But once we're in there, we're hitting the ground running.
Do you know yet whether there will be another American Horror Story beyond Freak Show? And if there is, do you know who will be sticking around among the cast? Because I know Ryan mixes it up. He brings some of the cast members back this season, and not. Is all that planned out long term, or do you kind of go season to season?
No, it's really season to season. I have no idea what's going on next season. I have no idea what's going on this season. So I'm still trying to figure it all out, but hopefully there will be another season. I know Jessica, it's rumored that this will be her last season, so I don't know if she'll be returning for the following season or not, but I would certainly love to work with her again. So.
But didn't she say that last year and the year before? Come on. Yeah, come on.
Probably, yeah.
She's very skeptical of this whole thing. I've talked to her on webcam like this recently, and she admits that she's only seen one episode of American Horror Story. She's never watched it.
Oh, which one? Do you know?
Apparently whichever one was shown in screening where everybody went to together, the cast in New York. So I think it was like the first episode. I know she saw the first episode of Asylum, and that was it. Okay. She goes, I can't watch myself. I don't watch it. It scares me, and I just. So she's such an old-fashioned dame, Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's kind of just finicky about the whole
thing to play out. I think I remember talking to her, and she there's a lot of quick cuts and stuff like that, and I think she's very old-fashioned, where she wants it to play out and to know the story and watch a scene between two people. We got a lot of that in Coven with her and Danny, so that was pretty cool for her, I think. So
I have one criticism about Coven. Tell me if you agree with it. I wanted to see more magic in it. I wanted the witches when they went fighting. Like
yeah,
there's one time when they really went at it, right? And all hell was breaking loose, and they were going after, and Emma and the rest of them all going after Jessica Lange, and then they ended it too soon. All of a sudden, that witch hunter showed up, and they turned against him. I went, no, I wanted to see the witch bitches go at it a little more.
yeah. I would have loved to see a little bit more flying, and I like the telekinesis. That's my favorite when they can throw people across the room and make objects move and stuff. I think that's well, as well as pyrokinesis too. I think more superpowers would have been sweet, but there was a fair amount. I think.
Yeah, we needed more of that. I agree.
Yeah.
I'll tell that to Ryan when next time I talk to him.
Yes.
Every year I give him hell about what I wanted to have seen in the past one. And what about looking forward into X-Men beyond this? Do you know whether Quicksilver is going to stick around in future editions?
I think he is. Knock on wood. I think they're writing him in Apocalypse, so I'm very excited about that. Yeah.
And how did that come about? How did you get the role?
He was Bryan Singer was a fan of American Horror Story, and I can't remember which season he liked her, but he was a fan and called me and said, I like your work. I want you to be in the movie as Quicksilver. He's this kid who's really kind of crazy. If you give him caffeine, forget about it. And I said, yes, okay, immediately. Yeah, duh.
So how did you even land all these juicy roles? How did you get into American Horror Story? How did you get that?
I auditioned for that. It was just auditioning. Going through the whole process of going to the casting director and then producers and then the studio test and then the network test and then eventually I got the role and I didn't know if it was going to get picked up or not. I was just doing the pilot and they said Ryan Murphy, everything he touches turns to gold. I was like, all right, that's cool, yeah, hopefully, that'd be great to be on a good show, and here we are, season 4 coming up, and I'm very happy, it's just kind of chance, really.
And these aren't just any franchises that you've now become part of. These are cult classics. I mean, American Horror Story is now becoming a classic. X-Men was a classic franchise, and now you're part of it. So, I mean, where you've landed in your career on TV and in film is like the sweet spot for both. I mean, you've nailed it, kiddo. Way to go.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks.
So what's next? Then, of course, you got this show, and then you've got X-Men. There's no time for you to do anything else, is there?
I guess not, no. Just prepare, I guess. That's it.
Okay. Well, thanks for chatting with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
If you get Emmy nominated, you've got to go up against the normal Heart Boys. That'll be tough. But I suggest you use a few of those magic tricks from Coven and just knock them out.
Yeah, I'll work on that.
Right.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Same here. Bye-bye.
Bye.